Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Derp Your Hooves. So today, I decided to get back in the Bell 407 Derpacopter. So they recently released Sim Update 12, and they say they updated this helicopter. And, I mean, I've updated the exterior and a little bit of the interior, but they say that the flight controls are better. So I'm going to take it for a quick spin, and I'm going to give you guys a treat. You guys can see my cyclic in my left, or my cyclic in my right, sorry, and my collective in my left. So we are flying today with a collective. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough bits to go ahead and purchase another camera to show you the rudder pedals. So let's go ahead and get ready to derp some hooves. We're going to take off from the aircraft carrier, and let's turn our landing lights on. And we are going to land at the heliport. So, gently up with some pony speed. Off the carrier. And I thought this would be fun because, after all, I did show you guys one of my videos where we landed the Osprey on the carrier. And since we parked the Osprey here, we got the Bell 407. And now we're going to go land it at a heliport. So, I actually have my controls set up so that I can use the rotor trim on either the cyclic or the collective. And I will try and just use it on the cyclic like you would in real life, because it wouldn't be on the collective. And I know my collective looks a little different. You know, that's just me. I treated myself to a collective to go ahead and fly helicopters better. So we're just going to sit here. And we're going to head towards Tokyo Haneda because the heliport is not too far from there. And now you get to see all of... you get to see my magical hands. Because normally, you know, being a pony, I do have hooves. But for flight simming, I get to use my hands. So, it's a beautiful day in Tokyo. And you might say, well, why do you always choose Tokyo, Pony? Well, we're going to be flying helicopters, and I think we're going to be flying helicopters for a while. Mainly rotary aircraft. And, well, so, like I've said in my other videos, Tokyo is one of the best places to go ahead and fly a helicopter. And one might be even asking themselves, well, Pony, couldn't you do this in VR? And Pony has to say, yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now. A little disappointed in that. Alrighty. Now, normally I'd have the pit-out heat on in here, but I don't today.
Derp Delta Echo Romeo Papa minus Yankee, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Tower Derp Delta Echo Romeo Papa minus Yankee frequency change.
Now, the one thing I'm not going to do is I can take my hand off the collective, because I actually have this collective kind of set up in a way that it won't hurt me to take my hand off it sometimes. I mean, if I do, at times it'll drop, and then that would be bad. Because our collective basically controls our rise, you know, our rise and fall, or our ascent and descent. So up on the collective is up in the helicopter, and down on the collective is down in the helicopter. And there is actually technically a twist throttle right here. And it was supposed to be working in Sim Update 12, so I'm going to have to go look at key bindings and see if I can do that. But you don't really have to adjust your throttle on your collective while you're flying. And for a cyclic, well, you know, we have our Thrustmaster X56. You know, which works for me. I don't really need a big cyclic between my legs right now. And we're just going to kind of come in here gently. Uh-oh, sim freeze. Okay, a little bit of a sim freeze there. That seems to be happening, you know, to everybody lately. So, not sure why that is. But I've definitely been doing some video settings tweaking lately to get some good frame rates. Just not going there. Not going to complain. Just going to say I've had to work really hard at tuning this sim on a really good machine. But so we're just going to be focusing on landing with our cyclic and our collective. We're going to make it a really short video. And you can basically just watch my hands. Now, my feet do control the tail rotor. They control the torque. Wow, we're really skipping frames today. Well, the West USA server is a thing of the past for me, I think. It seems that it's causing some major lag. So, we're just going to slowly ascend like we would in a fixed-wing aircraft, because I know where my destination is. Now, I mean, you can really cowboy these helicopters, and you can. And I'm sure you've seen me do it in my other videos where I just kind of spin around and, you know, do whatever I want. And it sounds like someone's in an F-18 around us somewhere, because we have live player mode on, because we're by Tokyo Haneda, and that's why there's all the stuttering. Because that's what happens. Alright. And that was definitely someone in an F-18. Alright, so I know where the heliport is. It's one of my favorite ones. So what you can't see, now if I let my feet off the rudder pedals, you see that the turn slip indicator right there, the little ball next to the speed indicator, in between the altimeter and the speed indicator. You'll see that there's a slip indicator on the pitch indicator. And so I basically control the direction of the nose of the helicopter with my rudder pedals, which are down here, and there are anti-torque pedals. And again, I'm not going to put 3 cameras up, but I will keep these 2 up for you guys, so that you can at least see the collective and the cyclic. And I can also explain to you at some point, I don't know in this video, but, you know, perhaps why it's a cyclic and not a stick. So, very important helicopter terminology and terms. Alright, as we just kind of fly along here, and I just gently adjust my rudder pedals, and you see that we're slipping a little bit. But if I go back, and I just apply a little bit there. Now, I'm not going to hover or anything or show you how to hover. I'm just going to do a simple takeoff and landing. Now, hovering requires you to use the rudder pedals as well. There's a lot of stuttering there. Alright. As we come in to our helipad, down here, past the golf course. Because if you've been watching Derp Your Hooves, you should know where we're going by now. And I mean, all I can say right now is that I'm going to focus on the sim and not on the occasional stutter. Hopefully it doesn't freeze or stutter as we land, because that would suck. But it has happened before in the past. So you notice I'm just coming in real gentle here at 40 knots. I mean, I'm not booking it across the sky. Oh, let's use that trim. Let's use that trim. So I'm not booking it across the sky to get to where we're going to get to, because there's no point. We got to come in here and we got to have our basically our speed slow enough so that we don't overshoot the helipad, because remember, we're not landing on a runway. It's not like we have to be doing 120 knots to get in. This is a different type of flying than fixed wing flying. And it's slightly a bit more difficult. So we're going to let off the rudder pedals because the nose is going in the wrong direction. And I don't mind if I slip a little bit coming in, because I'm more concerned about coming in straight. So landing lights, they're on. And we want to start to descend. And you're basically going to just kind of play with everything. And I may have to adjust the tension on my rudder pedals for helicopters. Okay, so you see I'm dropping too fast. So I just pulled up a little bit there on the collective, because obviously we want to clear the fence. And I don't want to drop straight down, and I don't know if I'm going to clunk, but we'll try to do this gently. So we can nose up, and you can adjust the trim and stuff too. I mean, that helps. But I don't want to land on the grass. I want to land on the helipad. We're treating this as if it was a building. We're trying to land on the helipad. We're trying to land the helicopter as a helicopter, because we're not landing on a runway at an airport. And so we're at like, what, 20 feet, 10 feet? Probably 10 feet. And I might fall short. We'll see. Try and bring her in gentle. Right on the H. I'm off center. And it might clunk. Yeah, not perfect. But all in all, turn off our light, landing light. All in all, not bad. I mean, it was a little bit of a clunk. You can make it a little smoother than that pony next time when you want to land. But I mean, that's pretty much it. If you're just going to take off and land, that's really all you need to do. So just pay attention to my hands, because it was more like, you know, like I said, cyclic up to take off. Or sorry, collective up to take off and down to land. And you have to play with it when you land and then your cyclic, which is going to be your stick, and I'll learn both terminologies. So, and it really is sometimes just fingertips. Now, I'm going to say this here. On the 407, and we're not going to taxi to parking. On the 407, it's a little, even though they adjusted the controls, it's still not as responsive as some of the third-party helicopters. It's gotten better. It's a little bit better than it was. I know some people were complaining about it. It has a little bit more fine control than it did. But like if you were going to use like the Cohen Sim 206, that's a little more fingertippy and touchy than the 407. The 407, at least in the sim, I don't know how it is in real life. In the sim, it's a little floaty. So anyhow, I'm going to leave you with this. So this is the Bell 407, and it's just a really simple takeoff and landing using a cyclic, well, a stick, right, and a collective instead of the throttle. So I just wanted to say, I hope this video is helpful to someone. Thank you for watching Derp Your Hooves, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.